Hi everybody, it's Claire with day 20 of the Art by Marlene Advent Calendar mini-series. So today, in day 20, we've got the little booklet of collage papers that you can see just up at the top of the screen. So again, I thought I'd work on a tag. I think this is a 10-inch tag. I've just used a mini blending tool and just put some black gesso onto the background, and actually loved what happened to the paper underneath, so I think I am going to use that for something else. So then this little booklet had quite a monochrome theme to it, so I decided that I would kind of use that as my inspiration and take some pieces out of there and stick them onto my tag. So these were my kind of starting point really, and I considered like doing that whole thing where you extend the pattern, and I thought, well, I've done that already, do something different. So I kind of just went for the monochrome idea with this one, and worked with white and black, and using some of the things that we got in some of the other days on the calendar. So I've got that sort of scalloped die cut out, and that stencil, I didn't actually end up using it, I ended up using one of the little flowers. So I cut the scallop die cut out of some printer paper. Probably would have worked better with card. It was a little bit flimsy with the printer paper, but it still worked, it was fine. And decided I was going to cut some pieces off that and add them onto my page. So I'm using some PVA glue and a little makeup sponge again to help apply the glue to these so that it isn't too leaky. I can't think of a better word really. And just sort of sticking some of these pieces in place just to add a little bit more interest to the background, because at the minute it is just a bit plain. That one there, I decided I would put the glue onto the card because this, like I say, it was out of printer paper and it was a little bit flimsy. That worked fine. Okay, so that gave me another little starting point there, and then I got my Signo Uniball and did some more doodling onto and into those little die cut elements, just adding a bit more detail. I'm just having a play really. Starting to look quite interesting now, a bit like almost like a lacy effect. And then I decided that I would break up the black bits that are left by using this little mini flower stencil with some white paint, and just adding a bit through that, not too much, not too dark. And then once it was dry, I started adding some dots onto the page. So just starting off with the Signo Uniball, and again I'm just kind of going around these elements that I've added and just using these dots to help bring it all together, softening edges that are a little bit stark and sharp. Yeah, and then I'm just outlining these flowers using a black gel pen too. And then I went in with a larger pen, like a Posca pen, and I'm just adding a different size of dot onto the areas where I used the Signo Uniball to add some smaller dots, so these ones are a little bit bigger. Then I decided I wanted to add an accent of pink onto this tag. So I'm looking through the little booklets of paper that we've got from the calendar and found one that was quite pink. I'm using this really great punch, which punches out lots of little circles, and I'm just adding some little circles onto the tag. The reason I did this was because I wanted to break up the black and white with a little accent of pink, and I knew that I was going to use a fluorescent Posca pen to add some splatters onto the page too, and I just thought this was another great way to use more of the products from the advent calendar. So then this is my fluorescent Posca pen, I'm just using a splatter, a fan brush, sorry, to get some splatters onto the page, and then once I primed the pen I also just did some splashes from the pen also, so that gave it another little pop of colour. And that is pretty much it really. I think there's just one more thing that I did, and that was to use a Caran d'Ache fluorescent pencil, and I just added some little, bits of pink onto the letters, again just to add another pop of colour. So that's day 20. Thank you for watching, and come back again tomorrow to see what is behind the next window.